What's going on, everybody? KKamm here, and in today's video I figured, since I like learning about the game and maybe there's some people out there like me, and I'd like sharing my knowledge with other people as well, and kind of showing off that I have that knowledge, and making sure that I'm not the only one that knows about it and stuff like that. And I figured maybe since there's some people out there like me who just like learning about the game and like knowing all that strategic stuff to kind of give them that one up on the other person, I just figured I might as well, let's make a tips series on Black Ops 3. And I made sort of a tip series on AW where it's just like going through hardpoint, uplink, search, and just kind of giving some tips on what to do in each game mode and stuff like that. Well, in this, I'm just going to kind of give you guys like normal tips and stuff. And I know for a first episode, you wouldn't really expect smokes to be like the first tip I'd give you guys. But smokes are actually pretty valid. And if you remember in Ghost, I know Killa and Fizzerp were very popular with their smoke rushes. They were very well known for it. And in Ghost, I used to love using smokes, not necessarily in respawns as much, but I loved using them in respawns. Oh my gosh, I just said I didn't like using them in respawns. I cannot speak right now, my brain's not working. But I used to love running them in S&D, just being able to push an area and all that stuff, and just so many pros from it. And then in AW, they were kind of worthless because of exo suits and everything, and the way the smokes were. But in this game, they're not as good as they were in Ghost, but they're still alright. And so I'm going to kind of basically be giving you guys some knowledge on smokes and stuff, and what they're good for, how to use them, stuff like that. So, I know a lot of people might think that they're good for respawns, and personally I think that just depends on how your team works. I think some teams it fits, some teams it doesn't, because there are teams like back in Ghost, they would use them in Blitz to smoke out the other portal. But I don't know, I'm not really kind of like that. I don't like doing that. And then in this, you can smoke out a flag for a pull, and I don't know, I'm just not like that. I don't really use smokes and respawns. I prefer EMPs myself, and I like running the EMPs, and then I have my teammates run concussions, trophies, whatever else we need. And I don't know, I just don't feel like smokes are necessary in respawns, but I do feel like you can make them work. Like you smoke out a flag, get a pull out of it, or you can even use it to like block off a line of sight if you're trying to go, so you can block off your own cut and force the enemy to move, which could move him into a teammate's line of sight. And that could be some easy caps right there. Not really easy because it's very strategic, but I feel like if you use them strategically enough that you could potentially be really good at using smokes and respawns. But I'm just going to be mainly talking about S&D and how to use them in S&D and what they're good for and all that stuff. So my first tip, or my first reason that I like it so much, is that it can block an enemy line of sight on you. So let's see if I can hit this real quick. So actually, hold up, I'll just do it simply. If I'm coming from the spawn right here, I jump up here, I notice there's a guy up top, I can just throw a smoke right there, and look at that, that line of sight is blocked. He can't see me from there unless he has a thermal, and I don't have cold-blooded. So you can just easily get that top AC, and if you have a sniper, that's actually one thing that I really like doing, is I just smoke that out, or not necessarily that, but I just like smoke something out, then I can look through the smoke, and if the other person doesn't have cold-blooded, which they normally don't, that's an easy snipe for me, and as long as I don't miss my shot, it should be another man advantage or another equalizer, depending on what situation it is. But yeah, blocking a line of sight, definitely the biggest pro of using a smoke. So like say I'm right here, I know there's a person mid, and I don't really want to get picked by him, I can just smoke this off like that. And it's also very valid for what's the word I'm looking for, very viable for using it on like a cross. So like I'm trying to cross here to get to the other side, I don't want that person mid to see me. I mean, yeah, I could sort of just go right back here, but then you got that sight line right there that he can see you at, and there's just too many problems. So the best thing to do is if you have a smoke that, you can cross right like that, and there you go, you're onto the other side, and the other team, unless they have a thermal of course, and you don't have cold-blooded, they will not have intel, and they won't know whether you're on this side or whether you're on that side. So let me just switch teams so I get more real quick. But that's definitely the biggest positive of using smokes, is being able to block those lines of sights. Like say for example, also right here, as more of a defensive standpoint, I showed you a couple of offensive there. You can also, like say you're trying to watch this, and then you kind of want to make sure that this side's covered, so you can sort of sit up here You can smoke off that side, and I don't know how well that smoke would do. Yeah, I guess that's alright. You can just smoke that off, and as far as you know right now, there's no one that can see you from that way, or even vice versa. You could smoke that off, and you could sort of just play like right here. And yeah, so it's kind of nice for blocking a line of sight on you, and that's definitely the best part about smokes. And my next tip, I basically hinted this already. You can allow rushes, or it allows you to rush without the enemy gaining intel. So like I said, here's another example right here. I picked Breach because it's a pretty good map to demonstrate smokes. You can smoke that off, and then any person that's over there, they won't see you. You can just go right down like that. And there you go, you're at A bomb. You just did a nice mid rush right there. Or even if you wanted to like push over here at B, you can just simply, I guess it's probably best to learn smokes, like kind of learn where to throw stuff and how to get stuff to land where you want it. You could like smoke out right here. That way anybody top green, unless they have a sniper or a thermal, and you don't have cold-blooded, of course, they won't see you. You can just get right up here, get the bomb down, and then run back. And so it allows you to rush, so it just allows for so many strategic rushes, and it definitely is something that's very overlooked because you can see how viable and how valuable a smoke can be in a search and destroy. And then another thing it can do is it can block intel from the enemy, obviously. So just like I said, crossing, if like I wanted to cross through here again, you can smoke that. Enemy won't know if I'm here or not. Then even if you wanted to get a little like advanced, you could kind of do a little jump up, surprise them right here. They won't expect you. And then there you go. You kind of got a little bit of a jump, so you can come right through here. Or if you even wanted to, you could have like a few people here. You could have one person watching this, one person watching that far back side, and then one person, I guess, watching that side over there. And that way you have all the possible rotations covered, and then you just get your bomb planner to plant it, and then just make sure that he stays near bomb so they can't possibly pull off any ninjas or anything, and you got a decent setup right there. And my next tip is going to be that it prevents an enemy from having an advantage when rushing you. So I'll switch teams for this one as well, so I can get more real quick. And so say there's a person trying to rush right here, and I can just smoke these off, and then I just kind of sit in a random area. So like say right here. If you're pushing through that smoke, you're not just going to be able to like give yourself a shoulder peek. You're going to have to come completely out of that smoke, which allows you, if you're on this side, you can just set yourself up in such a strategic position that you can just easily get the pick on them, and you can even shoot through smoke if you need to. And that's the reason why in CSGO you'll notice people don't ever push through smokes unless you're Stewie 2K. You don't ever push through smokes because it gives you such a disadvantage, and you will get killed a lot of the time if you do it. And so that's why no one ever pushes through smokes, because it's just not a smart thing to do. So don't do it unless, of course, you know you can have an easy kill while doing it. But it's just super strategic to be able to, kind of prevent the enemy from being able to rush you and have an advantage in a gunfight. Like if you're right here and you're like this, and he's just going to keep shoulder peeking you from this side, he can just easily keep going like that and just kind of getting those easy shots on you. There's nothing you can really do about that. I mean, I guess you could keep spraying, but then you're going to run out of ammo real quickly. You can just kind of give himself a couple seconds and then peek again after you start reloading. And you're guaranteed to lose that gunfight almost. I mean, you're obviously not going to lose it every single time, but you're not going to win it a high percentage of times, and most of the time you're going to lose it. So definitely a smoke would be better because you can just throw that smoke down right there, and that forces him, I mean, I guess, let's just pretend this isn't here right now. And then that forces him to have to push through the smoke and not be able just to shoulder peek you like that. He won't be able just to hit you with that shoulder peek and kill you. He's going to have to actually push through the smoke and open up his entire body for you to be able to just spray him down right here when he comes out. And that's how you get some easy kills right there. And my next tip is something that I use in S&D a lot when I snipe. So what I'll normally do, let's say I'm going up top broken, and I'll actually switch teams, and let's see, let me pull out my sniper class for this. So I'll come off spawn, I'll just kind of make my way up top broken, or just any spot where it's got a good vantage point of the map. I can throw smoke down, and I have cold blood on this class, which you'll see right there in perk 2. I have cold blooded, and then if someone were to hop up on that AC, I'd see him through my thermal, or on top mid, I can see them with my thermal, and they can't see me whatsoever. They'd have to come into the smoke and notice that I'm here somehow to be able to kill me, because, I mean, I guess they can start shooting through it, but they're not guaranteed to hit their shots, and most teams, a lot of teams actually, will not shoot through that smoke just for fear of the enemy knowing where they're at, and it's just giving away a lot of information to the other team. So I just like smoking myself out, coming out here, kind of giving it a little peek, because it's kind of like a safe peek, because you can't really be seen, and if someone like pops up right here, you'll just see their thermal body, or whatever it's called, I don't know, like you'll just see their yellow figure come up. You can just hit a snipe right there, or say there's one that jumps up mid and he goes right out like that, you just see him, you can pop him, and it's just easy kills like that. So I like doing that a lot, and it's kind of like my own strategy. I have yet to see someone else do that, and I don't know, I think it's something that's really overlooked. And my last tip is going to be that it protects you from sentry guns. Now, I can't really give you as an example of this because I don't have a sentry gun to put down. But what would happen is, say there's a sentry gun right here, and then you threw a smoke right here. That sentry gun, as long as you're covered by the smoke, the sentry gun will not shoot at you because it won't shoot through the smoke because it won't see you. And it's sort of something cool that I don't think a lot of people know. And I don't know how many people know that. I know that not very many know it. So you can smoke yourself out from a sentry, and it won't shoot at you. I mean, of course, it's not going to like just immediately just stop shooting at you. Like if the sentry gun sees you and it's starting to shoot at you, you can't just throw a smoke down. It's still going to shoot at you a little bit. But just as soon as you throw that smoke down and it covers you and it protects you from that sentry gun, the sentry gun won't notice it. You can go right past the smoke. So like if they have a sentry gun right here, and you throw a smoke right there, you'll be able to cross right through here without the sentry gun even knowing you're there. And so that's definitely something that I feel is overlooked as well. And hopefully you guys learned something from this video, as smokes are definitely very valuable and something that when used right, they can be a huge boost to your team and can be used very strategically. And it's definitely something that's very helpful and that the teams who use them the best can use to their advantage and possibly use them to win games. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something new. Let me know if you guys want any sort of specific tips, like anything you want a specific tip on, whether it's a game mode, a weapon, classes, just anything. I'll be glad to make some tips on it, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you learned or enjoyed it, and subscribe for more, as I will definitely be putting out more tips as I think of them. And thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.